So, running a business isn't just about day to day operation, it's also about building relationships that will set you up for long term success. Last week, I had key meetings with brokerages and teams, and this week, I get to dive more into those opportunities. Stick around to find out how those went, the challenges, and what's next on this entrepreneurial journey. Last week, I met with two brokerage companies and a team from one of those brokerages. I liked them both. I did. But one of them, which is very structured, they meet 3 times a week. And that is challenging. I run a business, so meeting 3 times a week in the mornings, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, even though it's half an hour meetings that they run, it's more like a touch base, but it takes me 20 or so minutes to get there, half an hour for the meeting, 20, let's call it half an hour to get back. That's like an hour and a half, but in truth, it's going to be more like 2 hours because one, you don't come to a meeting on time. You got to show up early. And second, you just never stay for the meeting. I like to mingle and talk to people in the office before and after meetings. So it's never, it's just never a half hour meeting. You have to, think about the extra time that it will take before and after the meeting. So that's easily 2 hours a day that I would have to allocate while running a 7 figure business. And, they do have great energy. I know one of the people at that office, that's why I went and attended their meetings to get an experience of how things were run. And I do like them. I've had great experience working with them. The agent there sold me my first home. And it's she did a great job. She was very patient with my wife and I. We've seen over 50 homes before we settled on the house. And it's not that we weren't making offers, we're just getting outbid on a lot of offers that we placed in. But with having great experience with her, I thought it would be also a good fit. Which I think if I were not running my own business, real estate, you do run your own business. But besides that, having an existing business that I help run, I think that would be the brokerage I would be signing up for. They provide a lot of support and they are up to date with technology. They're staying ahead by integrating AI in a lot of their works, lead generations and follow ups, and working with Zillow. I know I've heard mixed reviews of people using Zillow, but they do use Zillow, and I know I'm new to the industry, but the way an average person views home, they're gonna go on Zillow or Redfin, or Zillow is like the Google of real estate. So kind of understand why some people don't like it. The fees that one has to pay, and it doesn't always pay off. But the the people are just there. I don't know. When I'm in the industry longer than a couple of years, I'll have a good feedback and honest, you know, experience on what working or not working with Zillow will be. But right now, my ignorant ass is I get why people use Zillow to get leads, and it's just a tool. And in today's society, you gotta stay ahead, right? You gotta plan ahead, be current with current tools, and I don't know. I'm just rambling, but besides AI, besides Zillow, they are very they hold you accountable, and that's what I need. I need a lot of structure. I'm I don't want to call it ADHD, but I see a shiny rock and I'm like, ooh, what is that? And then another shiny rock and I'm like, ooh, I get distracted a lot. So with them having like 3 meetings a week and That's just regular meetings. Then they have other meetings above that. But with that, it will give me some structure, hold me accountable, and keep me more focused. So I really like them. But like I said, running a business and meeting, that many times early in the morning when we are the busiest, it's just a challenge. And I would be doing a disservice to myself, to my company, and to them if I were to choose them. Um, Even though I like them a lot. The second brokerage company that, well, actually, they're the third brokerage company I've met with. I met with another one a couple weeks ago, which I mentioned in another video, and that's really going solo. The first brokerage company, it's going solo, solo, solo. They they're a commercial real estate company that they would like to start a residential side to their brokerage, and I would just be learning on my own. There are no fees. The commission um, was like 60-40, no fees. And I just do everything on my own. How I run things how I want. It's super solo and it's on my own to learn. I know the guy and he said, you learn from experience by working with people, not from sitting down in class. And I understand that, but at the same time, classes and support, that's what I really need, support. But going to class will speed up that learning process. Some people don't believe that one needs classes to learn. You really don't. There's a lot of information on the web, YouTube, Google, but I'm not young. I don't have the time to take my time to learn things on my own. I'm getting old. I'm already old. And to have support and a continued educational program with a brokerage company would help speed up the learning process. Um, and that's something I'm looking for. Something support and continued education because I need to hit this ground running and I need to hit it fast. So mentorship, a little bit of coaching. Um, Coaching is an asterisk. It's not that I'm not coachable. I am coachable, but I like mentorship better. Um, I don't want to explain the difference right now because I'm just gonna go on a big tangent, and I want to keep this video on focus. So that the third brokerage company I met with them and also met with one of their teams. I met two team leaders, but sat down and interviewed with one of them. Just like the second company that I met with on Monday. I like this brokerage company as well, and I've dealt with them in the past. When I moved to Tulsa, they helped me find my home to rent. Find me a home to rent. It was a good experience. I was coming back. I was flying from California a few times, so whenever I landed here in Tulsa, I just needed to find a place real fast. But I didn't want to settle and they helped me find a home that I really, really loved. And I wish it wasn't for rent. I would have bought that home if it was possible. It was a great home in a great neighborhood, in a great it was neighborhood was great, neighbors were great. The price, the rental price was great, even though silly Californian here. I thought it was cheap, but talking to natives around here, not Native Americans, but well, them and people that grew up in Oklahoma and Tulsa, they said I was paying. It was expensive, but coming from California, where you know I was paying $1,100 to rent a room from my brother. I was paying $1,400 for a three-bedroom house in a very great neighborhood, a very nice neighborhood. So I thought that was cheap, but it's all relative. Anyways, that brokerage company helped find me that home, and they helped find the shop that I'm currently in. This shop, So I worked with a residential and their commercial department, had great experiences. I also took my real estate classes with them. So great experience with them. I'm still coming back. I'm a happy customer, happy client. So with that experience, I decided to, take a chance and interview with them. And I had a great interview with a brokerage manager, managing broker of that office because they have several offices. They're located in 3 states. So they're boutique, I guess. I don't know what boutique would be. Small. Some they're not nationwide, so they're not a big name brand, but they are small. But here in Oklahoma, I would consider them, you know, um, a good size brokerage company. They have, I think, over 200 agents in just the Tulsa metro. Um, while the other brokerage that I met with on Monday, they only have about 35 agents in that office, and they only have one office. So that to me is small, which is nice. Well, actually, the very first guy I met with that would be small. It would just be me doing the residential. So um, yeah, so I had a great interview, and then I'm on the fence about being on a team or going solo. And the managing broker gave me the opportunity to meet with a few team leaders. They, the first one I met was more like an introduction, which was fine because during the interview she broke down the types of teams, how they ran and operated, and one of them that was at the office, I already knew it wasn't going to be a good fit, so it was more of an introduction when she introduced us, and I, you know, now kind of regret not asking for an interview or sitting down longer with him. But at the same time, I know it's not going to be a good fit. And the only reason that I kind of regret it is because they are the number one outbound team with that brokerage firm in Tulsa, and I could learn a lot from them. It's just unfortunately being a current business owner, I I know it's not going to be a good fit. I already know it's not going to be a good fit. So I didn't want to waste their time and waste my time going through an interview process where I know the outcome, you know, I already know it's not going to work. So it was just meet and greet for that one. The other team leader sat down, had coffee with them. It was a good meeting. I learned a lot about her and her team, her background, their strategies, which is promising. They generate a lot of their leads through social media, which is good. Social media and their inner circle, but mainly, I guess it's a bit of both. They get a lot of leads from Facebook, and which is good because Facebook is social media and is a good way to reach out to people that you may or may not know. Um, it's you could reach out and say, hey, if you let people know that you're agent, real estate agent, and if you know anyone, just let them come to me. And with Facebook, it helps bridge that gap. So, which is nice. They do have a YouTube page, YouTube channel, which it's lacking. It's below, it's below subpar. The I know my audio is not great, but their audio is not better than mine. And I'm not trying to say, I'm doing everything right. It's just the jump cuts, the editing, the audio, it could be better. It's lacking. It could be better. So that it's not a turn off to me. It's more like, oh, that's something I could assist with. It's something promising. It's a project I could, share my experience and knowledge with. So it's a good thing, but at the same time, It's like if your standard is this low, yeah, but you know, maybe they're just learning because I know YouTube is new to a lot of agents, so at least they're trying to stay current with technology and the way people are accessing agents. So that's a good thing. They're not scared, even though the leader herself admitted that she hates being in front of the camera. So at least she's trying. And it doesn't happen overnight to be natural. I'm over here still struggling being in front of the camera. I'm still saying a shit ton of times. So I get it. You know, she's trying, and she's putting in effort, which is a good thing. And then I'm meeting with the another leader from that same brokerage office on Friday, this Friday. So that's the last team leader I'm meeting, even though there's two more. Um, it's just the other two teams, their schedules are also tight to work with. So I'm just gonna pass on them. So I'm looking forward to meeting this last team leader. And then on Thursday, I'm also meeting, I have a tentative meeting with another brokerage company. The It's not on the brokerage company, it's on me. That's why it's tentative. I I have a delivery that's expected to come in, and they don't tell us exactly when it's gonna arrive. So um so yeah, it's tentative. And what's nice is that that brokerage company is okay with that. So they said, we could move it next week. And I I don't want to move it to next week. I just want to just be done and with this whole interviewing process. Maybe I'm doing a disservice to myself, but I just I just want to get the ball going with this real estate. You know, it's just I know a lot of agents say you're never married to your brokerage company. You could be there for a few years and then you could pick up and move. And I I met a girl that she was with three different brokerage companies in a year. So I know this commitment to this brokerage company is not forever. So that's why I'm like, let me just get going. Let me start the business and start learning and gaining experience through the whole real estate process. So I'll just let that if Thursday is not gonna work, I'm just gonna let that company know. I'll see them later down in the future, And that's that's the thing with that I'm going to do once I decide where I'm gonna hang my license. I'm gonna still reach out to all the people I've interviewed with and let them know thank you for the opportunity, but I'm going somewhere else. But also to maintain that relationship, I wanna still have them in my Rolodex. If you know what a Rolodex is, a list of contacts because they could reach out to me, I could reach out to them in the future. You never know if our paths will cross again. So maintaining those relationships is important to me, and it's good. It's good, to not ghost people, even though they probably interview a lot of you know new sales agents. So whatever. It's like a dating app. It's never nice to be ghosted. So I don't like being ghosted. So I'm gonna just tell them thank you. Maintain that connection. So yeah, and that's it from for the week. Well, I have worked, regular um business, and as you can see from the you're not watching a talking head. You're watching me do some action. That way it's not as boring instead of just watching me talk. But yeah, so yes, I am looking forward to deciding where I'm gonna hang my license. I'm actually stoked and I cannot wait to get started. It's exciting. It's starting a new career. Starting a new career is just exciting. And I look forward to all the ups and downs, all the pitfalls, all the wins, all the victories, and all sorts of challenges that I'm going to go through. Running a business and starting a second career is going to be wild. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be wild. And I'm up for the challenge. I'm old and tired, and man, my body is beat, but I still have like the energy of like, oh, I wouldn't call it energy, but I still have the spirit of a teenager. So I'm ready to conquer the world. You know, don't count this old dog out. I'm still in this fight, and I can't wait to look back in 5 or 10 years and be like, dang, we did it. It's especially with the statistic of how many realtors fail in the industry. So stick around. Let's see what happens. If you're an entrepreneur that's all about building relationships while staying on top of business, let me know what's one thing you're working on this week to help your business grow. Leave it in the comments below and let's inspire each other. Let's go.